Hi friends! In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to use oil pastels to make your monkey or sloth look super textured and furry. So the first thing that you want to do is you're going to choose either a monkey template or a sloth template, and we have lots of different varieties of colors because there are different types that have different colors of fur. And you're going to start out and just in the bottom corner, please write your name, your class code, and whatever your desk number is. Once you have that done, you're going to start by finding the circle, and you're going to be drawing your monkey or sloth face inside the circle. So that circle is not going to be their actual head. You're going to be drawing the monkey or sloth face inside of that circle. Now you can either look at reference pictures that I have up on the board or throughout the room to show you different types of monkeys and sloths, what their face look like, and you can use those to help you draw. Or if you like getting step-by-step directions, I also have a few drawing sheets and you can use these to work off of as well. But just keep in mind, this whole circle is not going to be the animal's face. So what I'm going to do here is inside here, I'm going to start step one, draw this little shape here. Then I'm going to do two ovals for the eyes. But if you would like to draw different shaped eyes, more realistic eyes, that's fine too. I'm just following the guide. Then I'm going to do two little nostrils for my monkey and a little smile. You can also make your monkey have a different expression. That's fine too. If you have room, you can add ears, but if you don't, you can cut it out and we can add our own ears after, depending on what kind of monkey you're making. So I'm now going to make the line between the monkey's fur and skin. So a lot of monkeys have skin that feels sort of like ours on their face, and then there's other parts of their body that are covered in fur. So we can also add little tufts of hair. If this were a really fuzzy monkey, we could also add have it more furry around the edges, and then when we cut, we would have that be a rougher, more textured line, which I'll show you later. But this is kind of how we're going to be using that shape to guide the size. I'm going to add my ears. Okay. And if there's any other details that I want to add in here, I can do that as well. Now I'm going to get to the part where I'm going to be coloring. So I'm going to use oil pastels. I'm going to get them from the store on a tray, and I'm also going to get a paper towel so that I can clean them whenever I need to. Later, for smaller areas, you can also get a cotton swab if you need it, if it's a little too hard for you to blend with your finger. But please just don't use too many of these. So the first thing I want to do is do my monkey's skin. So I'm going to start with this sort of peachy color. Now, if when you are working, some of the graphite from the pencil when you were coloring gets blended in with the oil pastel, that's okay. It's not a big deal. We can always blend it and make it look like a little shadow or some other kind of texture on his skin. So if that happens, don't stress. It even happens to me sometimes. Now when I'm coloring, you'll notice I'm not pushing as hard as I can. We actually want to color softly with oil pastel because when we blend it, that's where we're going to be smoothing it out. So I want his skin to have sort of a smooth texture. So I am going to blend my oil pastel with my finger. And when I go around the edges, I almost sort of outline the shape so that I don't go outside of the lines too much. But if you do a little bit, that's okay. This is a really soft medium, so that can, it doesn't have to be super crisp and sharp like it would be with like a marker. So now that I have my face blended in, if I wanted to add a little variety to the color, like let's say I wanted it to be a little bit of a darker shade, I can add a little bit of like a brown, and then I can blend it together and it's a little bit darker of a shade. So it's really up to you how you want your monkey to look, and if you're using reference pictures, what color you're seeing in the reference photo. So you'll notice that I left the eyes, nose, and mouth that I've colored black. I've left them alone for now. When we use oil pastel, you always want to use black last. The black gets very, very smudgy, and we want to make sure that we're not getting it all over the place. So now I'm going to move on to my fur. So again, I'm not doing these hard, careful lines like that. I'm doing very, very light. This is called stippling. And if you have a hairier monkey or sloth, you would do longer strokes with the oil pastel. And if you had a shorter haired monkey, you would do shorter strokes. Now, another great thing with this is that you can blend multiple different shades of browns and tans together to really get a very unique, beautiful color, just like you would see on animals in nature. They rarely have just all one solid color brown fur. There's a lot of variety sort of within it if you look carefully. So I'm going to blend with my finger, okay? Now the last thing that I'm going to do after I've done that is I'm going to lightly outline my eyes and color them in. Lightly do my nose and lightly do my mouth. I'm going to use a little brown to get that little crease under his nose, but instead of using my finger to blend the black, I'm going to use this cotton swab and go around and just soften it up a little bit. I can also take my white and I can add a little highlight. And if I've noticed I've gotten my oil pastels dirty, I can always take this and give it a little twist. Okay, I would also want to make sure I have my ears done. And when I get to the body, I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the face. So I'm going to just pick a variety of different browns or tans or grays, depending on what color fur the animal has, and blend in the direction that the fur grows. Now, if I'm experimenting with my oil pastels, you can do that in the margins here, or you can also get a piece of scrap paper from the green box and test out some different fur colors and textures as well. In the next video, I'm going to show you how we're going to be cutting these out so that the edges look textured, and just have lots of fun and enjoy learning how to use your oil pastels.